Hello everybody, tis me again. Right now I am in the Olympic Center in Munich, Germany. I'm going to be a quick view of the area. I know it's not really much to look at, but there was a little bit of history here. In 1972, when Germany was hosting the Olympics, there was a group of Israeli athletes who were here. And like everyone else, nobody knew what horrors awaited for them. On the eve of September the 5th, a group of Palestinian terrorists known as Black September charged into one of these buildings. I think I'm in the wrong section. I don't think there's any of the buildings here, but they charged into the rooms where the Israeli athletes were housed in, and they took 11 of them hostage. One, maybe two Israelis during the incident when the kidnapping was taking place managed to get away, but 11 of them were held captive, two of which were killed in the rooms, I think on that very same night. The German police did everything possible to control the situation. While the situation was capturing the attention of millions of people around the world, it still, however, did not delay the Olympic Games. And for the reason being is because, well, first of all, the police were badly thinned out as it was. Should they cancel the Olympics, they would have had a much bigger problem dealing with the public. There was already a huge crowd watching what was going on. By canceling the Olympics, they would have had a bigger problem to deal with. So, strangely enough, they kept the Olympic Games going, but still, the German police were still trying to find a way how to resolve this problem. The reason why Black September took the Israeli hostage was because Israel had about 200, maybe 300 Palestinians in prison for suspicion of terrorist activities. Their demands was for Israel to let them go. Israel was not going to negotiate with terrorists. At one point, the German police was going to make an attempt to raid in the hotel and hopefully rescue the hostages. But as they were getting prepared, you had news reporters all around, and they were filming the German police getting prepared. So, and in these rooms were television sets. So it did not take much of a rocket scientist to figure out that, you know, you're seeing everyone getting prepared and they're about to raid the hotel. So there's even live footages where German police, undercover as athletes, were taking their position nearby certain parts of the building structures here. And at the same time, you would have a terrorist, you know, looking over the balconies right where the police officer was. I mean, they knew their position. So two of the ringleaders, I can't even pronounce their names, got out, spoke with the German police, and demanded that they cease this action, or they told them to stop, essentially, or people are going to get hurt. So that attempt did not work out too good. Eventually, the terrorists demand that they be taken to an airfield, they'd be taken to an airport to get on a plane and be flown out to any Middle Eastern country. And at first it did kind of look like the Germans were giving in to their demands. Little did Black September know that this was going to be another attempt to stop them. So while Black September took all the hostages and put them on buses, they were driven out to an area to be put in helicopters. And from there, the helicopters were about to go out 15 miles to an air base, I think, called Friedelbergs. I can't pronounce it. I can't really remember. But the whole idea was there was going to be an airliner filled with 17 German police officers dressed as pilots or air stewardesses. And at the same time, there was going to be snipers positioned all around the helicopters and the plane. And on top of that, there was supposed to be, I think, an APC, armor personnel carrier, also there to help bring in German police or soldiers, whoever was going to be at that air base. It sounded like a really good idea, except many problems occurred. First of all, this was Germany's first terrorist attack. They've never dealt with a terrorist problem. They didn't even have a squad to go up against terrorists. This was like their first time dealing with it. So, seconds before the helicopters landed, the undercover police that were in the airliner quickly took a vote and abandoned their position. The other problem is that for reasons unknown, the Germans thought there were only 5 terrorists, when really there were 8. So they only had about 5 snipers zooming in on the area. And the third thing that kind of blew everything out of proportion was the fact that the APC vehicles did not get there in time due to traffic. So by the time they even got there, the fighting was pretty much over. But so after the helicopters landed, 2 of the leaders of the Black September group got out to check on the airplane. But once they discovered it was empty, they kind of suspected right then and there that there was a trick. They were involved in some kind of a trick that was going to involve a firefight. And because the reason why they were going to have 17 police on the airplane was hopefully once they all got on the airliner, they would subdue the terrorists. That just didn't happen because, like I said, they abandoned at the very last second. So as the 2 members of Black September were running back towards the helicopters, yelling out to their comrades that something's not right, the whole area lit up with lights, and next thing you know, there was a big firefight going on. And 1 German police officer was killed during the incident. And 5 of the members of Black September were also killed. And I'm even more sorry to say that 11 Israeli hostages were taken in the buildings. 2 were killed here in the buildings. 9 of them were killed at the airport. 1 terrorist was able to take a full loaded magazine and he shot everyone in a helicopter, while another one took a hand grenade and threw it into the helicopter. Everyone in the helicopters were killed. As for the 3 remaining terrorists that survived, they were obviously taken captive. but were released a month later. What was really strange about it, though, was that it was kind of strange because there was another hostage situation. An airliner got taken hostage by Palestinian terrorists, and again, we're demanding for the 3 Black September members to be released. The funny thing about the passengers on that airliner, it was all male, and it all went smoothly according to plan. And the terrorists got their wish, and the three members of Black September were sent home. Now, Israel was not going to stand by for this. While those men were being released a month later, around that same time, Israel was conducting its own retaliation. It was called Operation Wrath of God. It was going to go out to find those who not only planned it, but helped, or who even participated in it. If you ever seen the movies Sword of Gideon or Steven Spielberg's Munich, that gives you an idea. Out of the 3 terrorists that survived, 2 of which were confronted by Israeli agents and killed. There's only 1 member of Black September who's alive today. He lives somewhere in South Africa with his 2 daughters, but he has to spend the rest of his life hiding in the shadows in fear. Should he step out, it probably won't take long before an Israeli agent gets him, or finds him, and kills him. Even though they probably could do it anyways, but they kind of made a point. Don't screw with us. Any rate, just going to give you another little view here. Any rate, I hope you found that interesting. I wished I could have shown you more. Other than that, till next time, stay in touch.